Well, UK inflation jumped unexpectedly to 2.9% in May, its highest level in nearly 4 years, as the slump in the pound in the wake of last year's Brexit vote continues to feed through into price increases. The rise in cost of foreign package holidays and imported computer games helped to push the UK inflation rate up to 2.9% last month from 2.7% in April. While City of London analysts had expected the annual rate of price increases to remain steady at 2.7%. May's inflation rate was the highest since June 2013 and above the Bank of England's 2% target. Well, as we have it on a back wall here, we'll see that in March we had it at 2.3%, and since then it's been on the rise, jumping to 2.9% as at May. All right, joining me via phone now is past UK District Chairman of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Adeoye Fadipe, to talk more about this. Hello, Adeoye. Many thanks for joining me now. Well, Britain's cost of living is rising at the fastest pace in 4-year high, intensifying the squeeze on households. Well, this calls for concern.
Well, I think, like you rightly said, the Bank of England is, has given us some kind of, if you like, assurance that this is not going to be something that, yes, it's the highest rise in the last 4 years. However, don't forget, during the vote that we had last week, pound sterling fell sharply on the stock market. But then again, all of this, there are no cause for concern. What's happened is we have, for example, the major reasons why this thing has jumped up is because of games, toys, hobbies, package holidays, like you said. And because we have, the weather here is really, it's really gone up. So obviously, this is the time of the year where package holidays go up. So we don't expect this. I mean, the pound is recovering right now. And of course, we are, after the vote that we had last week, which did not help, but I mean, the things are settling down. And once the Prime Minister is able to come up with, some sort of arrangement, either with the DUP or any other party, and we have some kind of stability, I'm sure we should be back to where we were. I mean, really, it's not a cause for concern. Yes, it means that average wage bill is kind of come down because of that. Unemployment rate is not bad at all. I mean, it's remained steady at 4.6% in the last year or so. And of course, the GDP growth rate is, is up again. It was down by 0.5%. So overall, it's not as bad as it looks. I mean, considering the stability in the British economy, I don't see any problems at all.
Yes, thanks for calming that fear, or the fears there, Adeoye. But wages are squeezed by the rise in UK inflation, and some have said that this has denied PMA a landslide in that last election. Do you think so?
Yeah. Sorry, say that again?
The squeeze as a result of that the rise in inflation, some say denied Prime Minister May a landslide in that last election. Do you think in that quarter?
No, I don't think. To be honest, I mean, don't forget when the Prime Minister called for the election on about 6 weeks ago, her initial concentration was, I think she was thinking that it was going to be a Brexit vote. I mean, the main reason she called the election, according to what we know, is that she wanted a stronger, an increased majority in the House of Parliament, so that she can have a stronger hand to negotiate the Brexit Article 250. But then again, what the election throws up is, people are actually less worried about Brexit. They're more concerned about everyday life, the economy, unemployment, the National Health Service, and all of that. So I don't think people did not even have this inflation rate was only revealed on a couple of days back. So I don't think that was a factor in the Prime Minister not having landslide. I think the factor why the Prime Minister did not have landslide, I think, is because she focused initially on Brexit. And, people are more concerned about their everyday lives, about their mortgages, about their insurance, about the, the old people, about the social security services and all of that. So I don't think that the inflation rate contributed to her not getting the landslide she wanted.
But the Trade Union Congress seems worried about this rising inflation, and in that light, they've asked that the government must act fast and reverse some of its austerity measures and, of course, get Brexit right. Do you think these measures or this austerity has in any way affected what we're talking about?
Well, again, the good news is that, this kind of economy or this kind of democracy here, when people speak through the ballot box, it does work. I mean, the government have no choice but to listen to that. If you remember, during the campaign, the Prime Minister had to do a U-turn when it came to the issues with the old people and, the kind of, what they will leave behind or how they will be paying this kind of thing. But in this country, in Western democracies like this one, once people speak through the ballot box, the government do listen. So yes, I do agree. There's probably going to be a reversal of some of the some of the austerity squeezes that's been in place, because again, if the wage is continue to decrease, then people cannot meet their bills. And I'm sure, not only that, people will not also be able to pay taxes. So I'm sure the government is aware of all of that, and I'm sure that from the vote last week, the Conservative government now, we hope so, they're yet to conclude the negotiation with the Democratic Union Party. But if they do make that conclusion, I'm sure that stability will return, and I'm sure they will also go back to looking at some of those things that they thought was socialist kind of programs. Mind you, the whole election has strengthened the Labour hand, for example. Having said that, Labour's vote came from the youth, and that is a very important thing here, because the youth are worried about where the economy is going. They're worried about unemployment. We have nurses who trained in this country who are beginning to think about relocating or emigrating to other countries because of the squeeze on the National Health Service. So I'm sure all of that will now come into play when it comes to the economy, as far as the government is concerned. All right,
we do hope that the Conservative and the DUP would be able to make favorable conclusions and, of course, one that will be positive on the UK economy. Thank you for your time, Adeoye Fadipe. We appreciate it.
Thank you.